Well, hi, everyone. This is Jerry Doggett along with Vin Scully. Here we are at beautiful Dodger Stadium for the doubleheader between the Dodgers and the Atlanta Braves. This broadcast is presented with the permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated. Any reproduction or rebroadcast without the express written permission of the Los Angeles Dodgers Incorporated is prohibited. Well, a big day. The Dodgers and the Braves ready to go in a doubleheader. And the Dodgers trying to overhaul the Giants are 2 games back. The Giants are playing a single game against the Padres. Dave Roberts going there against John Cumberland. And it will be Phil Niekro against Al Downing here in the first game of the doubleheader, and Ron Reed and Don Sutton in the second game. We'll have the starting lineups and other pregame notes coming up for you right after this message.
There's one thing that all great athletes have in common, no matter what their sport, and that is their spirit. The spirit to make one more effort, to try a little harder than the other guy. And well, the folks at Union 76 believe that the same kind of spirit can be put to work making a gasoline. Take Super 76, for example. Now, this is Union's premium blend. They've put 5 different engine cleaners into Super 76 when 2 or 3 might have done the job. But the people at Union 76 don't like to just get by. And that's what the spirit of 76 is all about. Those 5 engine cleaners are there because Union Oil feels that's what it takes to do an effective job of keeping critical engine areas clean. Intake valves, exhaust valves, spark plugs, carburetors, anti-pollution valves. Keeping an engine clean means it's going to run better, longer, and the cleaner the engine, the less pollution it creates. So start doing yourself and your car a favor now. Get the spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
Batting cards being exchanged at home plate. Jim Busby with the card for the Braves and Danny Ozark for the Dodgers. The umpires today will be Mel Steiner at the plate, Dave Davidson at first, Shag Crawford at second, and Stan Landis will be at third base. A beautiful day here in Los Angeles. We can see the mountains in the background and a nice crowd. Still some good seats available if you'd like to come out. Now we'll be underway in a moment. Now our national anthem. Now the batting orders for Atlanta. Felix Millan at second base. Ralph Garr in left field. Henry Aaron at first. Earl Williams will be the catcher. Dusty Baker in right field. Mike Lum in center field. Darrell Evans at third base. Marty Perez at shortstop. And Phil Niekro will be doing the pitching for Atlanta in the first game. For the Dodgers, Maury Wills at short. Bill Buckner in right. Willie Davis in center, and the Dodgers go out. Richie Allen will be at first base. Willie Crawford in left. Jimmy Lefevre at third. Tom Haller catching. Bobby Valentine at second. And Al Downing will be the pitcher. Downing, 18-8 on the year. Earned run average of 2.74. And he has no decisions against Atlanta. 0-0. Strangely enough, he's making his first appearance against Atlanta for the year. And this was the 14th meeting. He had no decision in his last start, and the Dodgers won 6-5 over the Giants. He worked 6 2/3 innings and allowed 3 runs. So Downing will try to get the Dodgers back on the track and off of a 4-game losing streak. The Braves are on a 5-game winning streak, and they now are trying to stay in the race. The Braves are 5.5 back. The Dodgers are 2 back, and at San Francisco, Dave Roberts and Don Carruthers will be the pitchers up there. The Giants, of course, lost yesterday. The Dodgers lost also. So the Braves trying to stay alive. And the big doubleheader here, very important for both teams today. Second game, it'll be Don Sutton and Ron Reed. The umpires, Steiner, Davidson, Crawford, and Landis. And as we said before, still plenty of good seats available if you'd like to come out and take in this one and the second game of today's doubleheader. The Dodgers, after today, have just 3 home games left. The final week of the season on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday against the Houston Astros. Out on the road, Tuesday and Wednesday against Cincinnati. Friday, Saturday, and next Sunday in Atlanta. Okay, time to play ball. First game of the doubleheader underway. And now for the play-by-play, here's Vin Scully. Vinny?
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Sunday to you, wherever you may be. One of the big games of the year for the Dodgers, this first one of the doubleheader. Not only to stay even with the Giants, hopefully to pick up one, but also to establish the momentum for this doubleheader. And Al Downing, who has turned in so many clutch performances for the Dodgers throughout the year, is asked once again to come up with a big one. Felix Millan will start it off, right-hand hitting second baseman, and Downing delivers. And the first one is high, ball 1, and we're underway. Interesting note about the Braves, when you think of the stock they have on their ball club, they are under 500 against left-handers, and the Dodgers hope to keep them under. The 1-0 pitch, over for a strike, 1-1. In decisions with left-handers, the Braves are 17-20. They're 8 games over 500 against right-handers. Downing ready, and the 1-1 pitch on the way. Slow, and a one-hopper whacked into center field. Base hit. That palm ball, and he got it up. It didn't do much. And so Millan just knocked it into center. And the batter will be Ralph Garr. The Braves are starting to eat the Dodger pitching staff alive. They're hitting .282 against the Dodgers, and they've hit 17 home runs against the Dodgers. So Millan, a rather ominous beginning for the Dodgers as he leads off with a single. Felix had 3 hits yesterday. Here's Ralph Garr. And Garr has had 6 hits in the first 2 games of the series. He takes high, ball 1. 1-0 the count. Jimmy Lefevre in on the grass. Garr, a threat to bunt, not sacrificing, but a threat to bunt for a base hit. He'll try it at least once or twice every game. Downing ready. Garr takes outside, ball 2. The Dodgers defensively, Al Downing and Tommy Haller. An infield of Richie Allen, Bobby Valentine, Maury Wills, and Jim Lefevre. And the outfield, Willie Crawford, Willie Davis, and Bill Buckner. The Dodgers have a lot of worries right now. They have to face it, and they are facing the problem. They are 2 behind, and they are running out of time and running out of games. Garr hits a big hopper, speared by Allen. He steps on first for 1. Now Wills drops the return throw, and Millan is safely back at first. Millan realized the force was removed as soon as Richie stepped on the bag, and he had thrown to Wills, who was trying to throw back and get him, and Maury dropped it.
Number 44.
No sign of any error by the official scorer. So Millan is still at first base as Ralph Garr grounds out to Richie Allen. Here is Henry Aaron. Aaron checks in at .330. 45 home runs, 115 runs batted in. Henry has hit 20 home runs at Dodger Stadium over the years. And he hits a palm ball down the left field line. Crawford coming over and makes the running catch for the out. Back to first goes Millan. Henry didn't quite get all of it. He hooked it in the corner, and Crawford made the catch. And now here's the big catcher, Earl Williams. Tremendously strong. 33 home runs, 85 runs batted in. He has the chest of a long-distance runner and tremendous power. The big Earl coming up. Aaron has sure hit his share of line drive and hard-hit balls for outs in this series. Earl Williams had a home run and a double yesterday. The Dodgers kept him quiet in the first game. Now the big catcher makes his way to the plate. Williams is from Newark, New Jersey. Downing is from Trenton, New Jersey. Al at the belt, looks over at first. Now the pitch to Big Earl is swung on and missed, 0-1. Downing making his first appearance against the Braves. Walter Olson just as soon keep left-handers away from him. But the rotation came up with Downing ready, and he's dropped right into it. 0-1 to Earl Williams. Downing back to the plate, fastball fouled away, and the count 0-2. Osteen is one left-hander in the league who has given the Braves a bad time. Claude had beaten him twice this year and was on his way to beating him a third time when he finally came out. Osteen is 12-9 lifetime with Atlanta. 0-2 the count to Earl Williams. Downing ready and delivers, and it's fouled away off to the right, out of play. A beautiful day in the ballpark. Light breeze rippling the flags in center field. And we still see plenty of seats, so if you're wondering about it, why, come on over and join the fun. We have barely begun. Top of the first of a doubleheader. As soon as we get reports out of Candlestick, well, we'll keep that game in the air as well. Earl Williams waiting, 0-2. Downing ready and comes back with a fastball, a big chopper to Lefebvre. Jimmy goes to Valentine for the fourth on the on, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, a man left, a big play, the line drive by Aaron caught by Crawford. At the end of half an inning, Braves nothing, Dodgers coming up.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. You only go around once, so you do it with all the gusto you can. Right down to the beer you drink. Less, won't you? You're out of beer.
Bottom of the first inning, the Braves are turned away empty-handed, and the Dodgers now take a look at Atlanta defensively. Phil Niekro on the mound. Earl Williams will be his catcher. An infield of Henry Aaron and Felix Millan. Marty Perez, the shortstop, and Darrell Evans, the third. In the outfield, Ralph Garr is in left, Mike Lum is in center, and Dusty Baker is in right. Maury Wills, Bill Buckner, and Willie Davis will be looking at knuckleballs until they're sick and tired of them now, as Phil Niekro gets ready. He's 14-12. The Dodgers are already tired of looking at Niekro. He has beaten them 3 times this year without a loss. He is 9-8 with them lifetime. With Niekro, all you have to do really is check his control. Maury Wills will start it off. Maury hitting 280, but he's hitting 304 left-handed. Niekro, like any knuckleball pitcher who ever lived, is as good as his control. His ERA is under 3. So if you notice he's not walking anybody and he's not behind hitters, then the Dodgers are in trouble. The first one is outside, ball 1, 1-0. Niekro last year gave up an awful lot of home runs because he would get behind with the knuckleball. Then he would try and get a fastball over the plate, and the hitters would hit it out. This year, he has stayed most of the time with the knuckleball, and it's paid off. The pitch to Wills, a strike. He still gives up a lot of home runs, however, and he has given up 25. However, Atlanta itself is a haven for home run hitters. 1-1 to Wills. Niekro back, and it's a little nubber halfway to the mound. Niekro down to get it, throws him out, 1 away. It's ironic that a year ago, Floyd Wilhelm was with the Braves and was trying to teach Niekro some of the fine points of the knuckleball. And now today the Dodgers have Wilhelm, and Nico is trying to use those fine points that Hoyt taught him. Here's Bill Buckner hitting .280. The best knuckleball hitter I ever saw, and this doesn't mean he was the best ever, but the best I ever saw was Duke Snider with the Dodgers. The pitch to Bill Buckner a strike. One reason was Snider had the remarkable facility of waiting on a pitch until it was right on the plate. Up at Candlestick Park, they are underway. The strike one pitch, a little nubber. Nico picks it up and throws him out. Look out, boys. The knuckleball is starting to bite him already. And the batter is Willie Davis.
Batting 312, Willie Davis.
The first report at Candlestick Park, the San Diego Padres have loaded the bases in the first inning with 2 out, and ex-Giant Ollie Brown is at the plate. That's 2 out, first inning at Candlestick, bases loaded. No score, Ollie Brown at the plate. That's against young Don Carruthers. The pitch to Willie Davis outside, ball 1. Carruthers just celebrated a birthday the other night in a starting role, and he comes right back with a big assignment today. 1-0 to Davis. Willie with a 13-game hitting streak. Nico's fastball is pulled down the right field line, and it's in for a hit. Speared by Baker. Willie on his way for 2. He's in there with a double. And that's how Nico gets in trouble. He threw knuckleballs and disposed of Wills and Buckner, and he tried to sneak a fastball by Willie Davis, and he pulled it into the corner for a double. Now, the club's leading hitter with RBIs and home runs, Richie Allen, checks in. Allen with 22 home runs, 88 RBIs, hitting .296. Willie Davis has now hit safely in 14 straight, and he has hit safely in 20 of his last 21 games. So the Dodgers trying to get the jump on Nico, and he's a difficult man to do it. Phil delivers, and the knuckleball is swung on and missed. Nico won his last start. He beat the Astros 4-2, allowing only 1 earned run, and he only walked 1. That to him is always the key. The reason he's 3-0 against the Dodgers, he's walked 4 men in 3 games. Strike 1 pitch. Knuckleball swung on and missed, strike 2. It was Jim Gilliam, in talking about Hoyt Wilhelm's knuckleball, who nicknamed it the Dancer, and it's as good a description of the pitch as anything. Ollie Brown just got an infield hit, and the Padres have scored a run as Allen hits the ground ball to shortstop, speared by Perez, who throws him out. So Ollie Brown gets an infield single with the bases loaded. The Padres have scored 1. They still have the bases loaded in the first inning. Meanwhile, the Dodgers go out on a double and a man left, and at the end of an inning, no score. What do your little leaguers order when you treat them to dinner at a fancy restaurant? Well, chances are they'll ask for hot dogs. To almost every youngster, there's some marvelous magic about a wiener bundled in a bun. And when the wiener's from Farmer John, it's even more fun. Farmer John smokes his wieners like he does his famous bacon over native Western wood to give them a wild and wonderful Western flavor kids really dig. And as a parent, you should be glad that Farmer John wieners are such favorites. Every plump, juicy morsel is all meat, and the best meat, to provide good, protein-rich nourishment. If your children haven't tried Farmer John wieners, pick up a package soon. Look for extra-long Farmer John wieners, too. We call them Dodger dogs at the ballpark, and except for their 10-inch size, they're the same as regular Farmer John wieners. But whichever you choose, you pick the winner, because both kinds won gold medals at the California State Fair. Farmer John wieners and extra-long Farmer John wieners. The end of an inning, no score. At the end of the inning, a half inning in Candlestick, the Padres scored 1 with 2 out. In fact, we can tell you how that inning went. Enzo Hernandez walked. Don Mason singled. On that bunt by Mason for a base hit, Fuentes failed to cover first.
Right field.
Jeter grounded out, and Kovich struck out, and Stahl walked to load the bases. Ollie Brown hit a high chopper to shortstop and legged it out as a run scored, and then Jestat flied to center. So the Padres have a run, and Dave Roberts going to work against the Giants. It's no score second inning, and Dusty Baker at the plate. He'll be followed by Mike Lum and then Darrell Evans. Line drive off the body of Downing, deflected to Wills, who throws him out. And let's see if Downing is all right. The infield gathering around the mound, and evidently Al got away cheaply enough. Lefevre pats him on the back.
Mike Lum.
Haller says something, and Downing grins, so evidently he's okay. So Dusty Baker almost got a piece of Al Downing that time, and the play went 1-6-3. The batter, Mike Lum. Lum, hitting .275, takes a strike. He has 13 home runs, 55 runs batted in. Mike hit 2 home runs the other night. It was a day early because KGMB in Honolulu joined us yesterday, and Mike is from those parts. He takes high 1-1. Lum in yesterday's game went 0 for 4, and he had a scoring fly ball. 1-1 pitch is lifted to shallow right center. Valentine out. Davis coming in a hurry. It's Willie. 2 down, and a youngster from Pasadena who had a big day yesterday, Darrell Evans, coming up. Evans, a single and 2 home runs. Big left-hand batter. Evans hitting .247. He has 10 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Two outs, second inning, no score. The Padres leading the Giants 1-0 in the first inning. Evans takes a strike. Andy Messersmith won his 18th, shut out the White Sox 2-0, beating Wilbur Wood, who was already 120. The Red Sox beat Washington 4-3. Strike one pitch to Darrell Evans, a little low, 1-1. You know, low lead regular 76 not only improves our air, but helps your car as well. Spark plug life doubled, engine wear reduced. So treat your car to a tank full of Union Oil's low lead regular 76. 1-1 pitch is low, ball 2, 2-1. Al Downing, 18-8, making his first appearance against the Braves. Downing's fine ERA, 2.7. Next one is driven to center field. Davis going back on the ball, turns and makes the catch for the out. So Evans lines out to Willie Davis. The Braves are gone, and at the end of an inning and a half, no score.
Spirit, the ability to make one more effort.
Here's some great news from Detroit that means special savings for Chrysler Plymouth buyers now. In the spirit of President Nixon's economic program, Chrysler Motors Corporation has instituted a new rebate program for Chrysler Plymouth dealers. Now, this program allows them to make even better deals on new 71 models in stock during their We Care clearance sale. The Chrysler Plymouth dealers are loaded with 71s. They must, I say must, slash their 71 prices to record lows to move them out to make room for the incoming 72 models. There's never been a cleanup period like it. With a new rebate program, you can get year-end savings like you've never seen before on Furies, Satellites, Chryslers, Imperials, even the economical Dusters. And the imported Crickets are going at pre-import tax prices. Most models, colors, and options are still available.
Bottom of the second inning, no score. The Giants have gone out in order against Dave Roberts. Willie Mays in the leadoff spot today, grounded to third. Tito Fuentes grounded to second. Willie McCovey grounded to third. So at the end of an inning at Candlestick, the Padres won and the Giants nothing.
Batting 282.
Willie Crawford starting it off. Willie hitting .282 with 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Niekro ready to pitch to Will. Knuckler fouled away, 0-1. He has thrown one fastball so far, and that fastball was hit into the right field corner for a double by Willie Davis. Nico into the windup, and the strike one knuckleball is high, 1-1. Earl Williams catching with a big waffle. In fact, the Braves were kidding Hoyt Wilhelm, passing a message along that the big waffle glove that Wilhelm brought to the Dodgers belongs to the Braves. The pitch to Crawford inside, ball 2, 2-1. Two and one to Crawford, followed by Lefebvre and then Haller. Nico, 23-game winner 2 years ago. Knuckleball outside, ball 3. Final score, well, they couldn't do it today, but they will if the Cardinals lose. The Mets beat Pittsburgh 5-2. The Cardinals, meanwhile, are breezing 4-6, 8-0 at the end of 8 over Montreal. 3-1 the count to Willie Crawford. Fastball missed, ball 4.
Batting six, number 5.
That'll bring up Jim Lefebvre.
243. Jim Lefebvre.
Jimmy Lefebvre hitting 243 and hitting 1 point less than that left-handed. No score, second inning of a rather fateful Sunday, September the 19th. And the Padres leading the Giants 1-0 at the end of an inning at Candlestick. Lefebvre takes a dancer for a strike, 0-1. Tommy Haller on deck. Nico beat the Dodgers 7-2, 3-1, and 3-1. He's allowed only 3 earned runs in 28 innings against the Dodgers. That'll be a little less than a run a game. Pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Nico bends to the waist, hands on his knees, now straightens up. Throw to first, Crawford back to the bag. Nico, another quick throw, and Willie back. Nico has the mark of a very successful pitcher, despite the fact he's only 14-12. He has completed more than half of his starts. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Lefebvre. High, ball 2. Boy, when you find a pitcher who has completed more than half of his starts, you have really got a star. There isn't a Dodger who has completed even half as many, and you won't find many pitchers in baseball to complete half. And Nico has completed 17 out of 33. 2-1 to Lefebvre. Fastball hit into right field. That fastball will hurt him yet, and Crawford is going to go to third. Well, Nico hasn't fooled the Dodgers yet. He tried to throw a fastball by Willie Davis, and he doubled. And now in the second inning, after walking Willie Crawford, he tried to get a fastball by Lefebvre, and Jimmy banged it to right. Nobody out, and Tom Haller the batter. Lefebvre at first, Crawford at third. Pressure on Williams now, and a knuckler squirts away from him. 0-1 the count. I think that was a foul tip that took a bite out of Earl. 0-1. That's a catcher's nightmare, of course, to have a runner at third when you're handling a knuckleball. 0-1 the count to Tom Haller. Tommy hitting .271. He has 30 RBIs. Nico to the plate, and the knuckler high. 1-1. In the second inning at Candlestick Park, the San Diego Padres have a runner at third with 1 out. So Barton is at third with 1 out in the second inning. Haller swings at the knuckler and doesn't get it. 1-2. Padres leading the Giants 1-0. They're 90 feet away from picking up another run, and as soon as we get the details, we'll pass it to you. Barton, the ex-Giant, at third, up there at Candlestick. 1 away. 1-2 to count at Tom. Crawford down the line from third. Lefevre at first draws a throw and gets back. Nico picks up the rosin bag. Now right foot on the rubber. Haller waiting 1-2. Another throw to first. Lefevre back. Dodgers have a chance here with first and third and nobody out. Nico ready. 1-2 pitch to Haller is a knuckleball swung on and missed. Strike 3. Haller reaching across the plate to try and take a swipe at it. So now the pressure is on rookie Bobby Valentine.
Valentine.
Bobby Valentine playing every day now, hitting .254. He has lost about 11 or 12 points in the last few days. With Barton at third and one out, the next batter, and Valentine just missed trying to bunt the knuckleball. Wasn't a squeeze. 0-1. With Barton at third and one out in the second inning, the next batter hit back to the box. So they held Barton at third. So now they have 2 outs. Barton at third in the second inning, 1-0 San Diego, and Don Mason is the batter. So 2 ex-Giants now are trying to get a run over against San Francisco. Pitch to Valentine. Knuckler swung on and missed. Strike 2. Make no mistake about it, he is rough. Don't forget to look for the special slit. 16-ounce bottle display. Most everywhere. 0-2 to Valentine. Crawford at third, Lefevre at first, nobody out. Strike 2 pitch. Knuckler and a high fly ball to left field. They're going to send Crawford in on it. He'll be the catch by Gar. Here comes the throw. It goes to second base. The run is in. Boy, that's a clutch fly ball by Bobby Valentine, hitting an 0-2 knuckleball deep enough to get his man home, and that'll bring up Al Downing. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
This is KFI, Los Angeles.
KTAR-C.
Al Downing swings at a knuckler, fouls it away outside of third. So Willie Crawford walked. Lefevre got a fastball and singled to right. Haller struck out on knuckleballs, and Bobby Valentine, after trying to bunt one and missing another, lifted an 0-2 knuckleball to left field to get a run over. 1-0 Dodgers, second inning. Strike 1 pitch. Downing swings and comes up empty. 0-2. Al has 14 hits, 9 RBIs. Sutton has 17 hits, 7 RBIs. Knuckleball, and that's looped to center field. Coming up is Mike Lum. Going out is Neon. It's going to drop for a base hit. Al Downing loops one to center. Maury Wills coming up. Lefevre at second, Downing at first, 2 outs. 1-0 Dodgers. Maury hit back to the box in the first inning. So Wills at the plate. Nico bends to the waist. Dodger base runner is trying to look alive in case the knuckleball gets away at the plate. But Williams doing a good job, handles the first one. Don Mason flied out, so they left Barton at third base up there at Candlestick. Here's the strike 1 pitch to a fastball, but he missed. 1-1. Barton singled and was wild pitched to second. Roberts, in fact, he was wild pitched to third, I guess. Roberts and Hernandez infield outs, and then Mason a fly ball, so they left him at third. So it's 1-0 San Diego. Bottom of the second inning. It's 1-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the second here. 1-1 pitch to Wills. Knuckler for a strike. Outside corner at the knees. 1-2. Nico's knucklers high. Ball 2. 2-2. Couple of finals. Yankees nip Cleveland 3-2. Klein over Dunning. And the Cubs beat Philadelphia 6-3. Jenkins over Lersch. 2-2. Nico delivers and misses with a fastball. So he's gone all the way. Well, if you are Phil Nico, do you stick with your bread and butter pitch, which can be erratic and can load the bases, or do you dare challenge Wills with a 3-2 fastball, hoping that it can blow it by him? And, of course, all the while you know the runners are going. Here comes a big pitch. It's a fastball, and it's hit to straightaway center. Lemus will back on the ball and makes the catch for the out. So Wills a fly ball to center. The Dodgers get 1 run, 2 hits, and leave 2. And at the end of 2, Dodgers 1, Braves nothing.
Spark plugs, valves, carburetor, critical parts of your car's engine. Know what happens when you don't keep them clean? Your engine gets sluggish, and it doesn't perform like it should. And your gas mileage takes a tumble. How do you keep these critical parts clean without an overhaul? Well, it's really easy. With Super 76, Union Oil's premium blend gasoline. Super 76 has 5 engine cleaners. 5 to keep your engine clean and running like it should. A clean engine means clean air. So why don't you drive in where you see the big orange Union 76 ball and fill it up with Super 76. That's the spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
Well, we've got 2 innings of a long book to fill today, and the Dodgers 1 run, 3 hits. The Braves no runs, 1 hit. After today, the Dodgers have 3 games left at home with the Houston Astros, the last 3 days of the year, including Fan Appreciation Night on the 30th. The Dodgers will go out to play 5 on the road and then come home for their last 3. For the Giants, they say goodbye to Candlestick today. They have 9 games to play on the road. So it's pretty hard to say, no matter what happens today, how you can decide the race. There's a lot to be played and a lot to be settled. Let's go to the 3rd. Dodgers 1, Braves nothing. And for more play-by-play, here's Jerry Doggett.
All right, Vinny, and Marty Perez, the shortstop for Atlanta, batting 8th, will be the first batter up, and then Phil Niekro and Felix Millan. The Dodgers lead. They eked out a run there on the walk, and a couple of base hits, sacrifice fly drove it in. Marty Perez hitting .232, 4 home runs and 32 runs batted in. Perez, right-hand batter. Where's number 9? Standing in there now is Al Downing. Checks his sign. Al trying to get his 19th win of the year. Here's the windup in the pitch on the way. Breaking ball, a curve, foul tipped, and it's strike 1. He bunted at it. Downing in his first appearance against the Braves. Al figures to have this start and perhaps 2 more. The Dodgers will have 8 games left after today. Downing should pitch in Atlanta and also against Houston here in the final series. Ground ball wide to third at shortstop. Wills digs it up in the hole. Off balance throw in time. Good play by Morey. And Perez is out 1 away. The batter will be the pitcher, Niekro. Still a pretty good hitter. He has 12 hits, 4 RBIs, and an average of 141. So Niekro comes up now with 1 out in the 3rd inning. Boy, he does not give up many runs, especially to the Dodgers. 3 earned runs all year in 27 innings. He's pitched 3 complete games against them and won them all. Ron Reed, who's pitching the 2nd game, has worked 3 games and a total of 27 innings. There's a swing and a foul tip for a strike. So the Dodgers will have a lot of work to do here in the doubleheader. The 2 top men on the Atlanta staff going against the Dodgers, Downing and Sutton, could probably be classified as the 2 top men on the Dodgers staff at the present time. Fastball is a strike, 0-2 the count now to Niekro. Downing with 18 wins, Sutton has won 14. Osteen has won 13, and Singer is 9 and 16. The 0-2 pitch, foul out of play to the right, and it's still a strike 2 count to Niekro. Beautiful day. Still good seats if you'd like to come out and see a lot of baseball this afternoon. First game of the doubleheader is in the third. And we've got another one to go after this one. Now the pitch on the way. Struck him out, fastball. Down goes Niekro, and there are 2 outs. That is the first strikeout for Downing, and the batter will be Felix Millan, the leadoff man. Felix hitting .292, 2 homers and 44 runs batted in. Two men on and nobody in 1 out. The Giants batting in the second have 2 on and 1 out. Here's Millan at bat. Downing ready to go to him. Now to his windup and his pitch on the way. Strike on a fastball. 0-1 to Millan. He has the only hit against Downing. The Dodgers have 3 hits, including a double by Davis and singles by Lefevre and Downing. 0-1 count. Now the pitch. High fly ball to left field. Waiting for it is Crawford. Easy one. Willie in a few steps and handles it to the out to retire the side. So they're 3 up and 3 down, and Downing now has retired 9 in a row after a leadoff single by Millan. So they're all out in the top of the third, and the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play. Dodgers 1 and the Braves nothing.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. One chance at life, and so you reach for all the gusto you can, right down to the beer you drink. And that means Schlitz. When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
We go to the third inning last half with Buckner, Davis, and Allen now facing Niekro.
Right field.
Billy Buckner tapped back to the mound his first time up. Billy hitting .280. He has 5 home runs, 39 runs batted in. First game of the doubleheader, and meanwhile at San Francisco, the Giants have runners on at first and third, and 1 out. Final score: Minnesota beat Kansas City in the first game of a doubleheader, 6-3. Here's Buckner now, and the pitch from Niekro. Knuckler bounced away, ball 1. That one low. 1-0 the count to Billy Buckner. Big doubleheader here today at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers out on the road Tuesday and Wednesday at Cincinnati. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday next weekend in Atlanta. Here's the pitch on the way to Buckner. Outside with a knuckleball. Scoreboard shows it 1-1, but it looked like the first pitch bounced in the dirt. Might have ticked his bat and then bounced. Buckner waiting. Niekro set. And it's inside, ball 2. All right, Billy Buckner waiting, 2-1. Niekro ready to go again with it. Bit of a breeze here, not much. That one is a strike on the corner, and Buckner turns and jumps at umpire Steiner. Couldn't believe that one. That knuckleball really danced in there to pick up a corner. 2-2 to Buckner. All right, Niekro looking in again. Here's the pitch on the way. That one's popped up around the plate. Behind the plate comes Williams now, mask off, and handles it for the out, and we have 1 away. Friends, when you make up your weekly shopping lineup, be sure to include the pork products from Farmer John. You just can't match them for freshness and flavor. Willie Davis at bat doubled into right field his first time up. Willie has hit safely in 14 straight now. He has 7 home runs, including one yesterday, and boy, he's been going great here. Trying to keep him alive. Now the pitch. Knuckleball, a strike, 0-1. Willie has 69 RBIs, a .312 batting average. Having a fine year. 0-1 the count as Niekro goes into the windup and he's pitched to Willie. Fly ball to right field deep. This one is well tagged. Back goes Baker and leaps up and goes into the stands. I don't know whether he caught it or not. We'll have to wait till he comes out of there. Davis is rounding the bases. Baker is still in the stands. Comes out of there, and I think it's going to be ruled a home run for Willie Davis. 3 went to the box seat railing. Went as high as he could. Got hit on the hip by the railing and tumbled headfirst into the first row of box seats there. And the umpire went out. First base umpire Davidson went out and did not make a call until Baker came out of there with the ball not in his glove. So a home run for Davis. Just did get into the stands in right field, and for Willie, his 8th home run of the year. He has 2 in 2 games now. Baker was hurt on the play, and the trainer goes out to check with him, and also the third base coach, Jim Busby, who goes out of the dugout, goes out to see if Baker's all right. He got popped on the thigh on the left side as he bounced against the railing and went headfirst into the stands, but he could not catch up with the ball. It went in there for a home run. So the Dodgers lead 2-0 on the home run by Willie Davis. All right, Baker's going to be all right and stay in the game. For the home run, we're pleased to present 2 $10 books of Union All Auto Script to Reese Davis Child Study Center, 9760 West Pico in Los Angeles, and 2 books of Union All Auto Script to Willie Davis. So Willie Davis puts the Dodgers in front 2-0, and meanwhile at Candlestick Park, the Giants have come up with 2 and lead now 2-1 over San Diego. Richie Allen coming to bat. So Davis has a double and a home run here against Niekro, and he popped that one pretty good, and Baker almost came up with it. Boy, he went leaping into the stands after it. Here's the pitch to Allen. A little high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Allen grounded to short his first time up. Now the pitch on the way to Rich. Knuckleball low, and it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-1 at the end of 2. The Giants lead San Diego up north. Now the 2-0 pitch. Allen lines one to left field. Back for it goes Garr, leaps up and makes the catch for the out. Line drive to the left fielder for the second out. So he hit it hard, and Garr backed up and reached up high. 2 down, and here's Crawford at bat. He walked in the first inning and scored the first run. Dodgers 2. Braves nothing, 3rd inning. Crawford hitting .282 with 9 home runs and 38 runs batted in. Knuckleball is low, 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Tapped up the first baseline, and it'll be fielded by Aaron right on the line for the out to retire the side. So Crawford grounds out on a roller to first. The Dodgers show 1 run, the home run by Davis, none left on, and the score at the end of 3 innings of play. The Dodgers 2 and the Braves nothing.
There are quite a few ball players, as you know, who can play 2 positions. But get this, Farmer John plays 2 positions at once. At the very moment you're looking at his picture on a bacon package in the meat department, why, his familiar face can also be seen on his luncheon meats in the delicatessen section. Yes, there he is, smiling away on the most luscious luncheon meat you ever sandwiched between 2 pieces of bread. And the good farmer makes all your favorites, like Farmer John's slice-cooked ham, Farmer John all-meat bologna, liverwurst, Braunschweiger, and more. All are as fine and fresh as any luncheon meat you can buy. They're made with freshest eastern corn-fed pork and fresh, lean, juicy homegrown beef, and all won gold medals at the California State Fair. So the next time you shop, look for the farmer in the deli, and if you can't find the Farmer John luncheon meat you want, ask the man. Maybe next time he'll have it for you. Farmer John luncheon meat. Get some soon.
One big series left at Dodger Stadium, last of the regular schedule. 28th the night game with Houston, 29th the night game, and 30th the fan appreciation night here at 7:30 at Dodger Stadium. More than 200 prizes for our Dodger fans on that night. Fan appreciation night. Order your tickets early, and remember, game time will be 7:30. Okay, let's go back to play. Fourth inning. Here's Vinny.
All right, Jerry. 2-0 Dodgers, and Ralph Garr, Henry Aaron, and Earl Williams in that order. Al Downing looks in to get a sign, and here we go. Downing delivers a bunt in the air, and Richie Allen one-hands it for the out. So Garr, who loves to bunt, pops up, one away, and Allen had some good-natured kidding, I believe, as Garr came to him. One away. Henry Aaron. He hit a palm ball into the left field corner, and Willie Crawford caught it on the dead run just about at the foul line. Henry hitting .330, 45 home runs, 115 runs batted in. Downing into the windup, Al delivers. Fastball for a strike, 0-1. Dodgers 2, Willie Davis added the extra one with a home run in the third. Braves nothing. Downing to the windup and the strike one pitch. Fastball, line to left. Crawford almost in his tracks. Makes the catch for the out. So Henry Aaron continues to be such a tough out in this series. Every time the Dodgers have gotten him, why, he has almost taken the hands off somebody, except when he struck out. 2 line drive outs now. Here's Earl Williams. Williams hit into a force play. In the first inning, he's 0 for 1. Big right-hand hitting catcher. 2-0 Dodgers. Fourth inning, 2 out. Downing into the windup and delivers. And there's a line drive to left. That's going to be a base hit. Crawford plays it on a hop and gets it back in. That's only the second hit allowed by Downing. He had retired 11 in a row, and a couple of balls were hard hit. Here's right fielder Dusty Baker, who joined the spectators momentarily as he went into the right field seats in pursuit of Davis' home run. Dusty, right-hand batter, with Mike Lum on deck. 2-0 Dodgers, fourth inning. The Giants leading the Padres 2-1 up there. Baker swings, doesn't get it, 0-1. The count of Dusty Baker. Downing ready, comes back, and it's swung on and missed. Palm ball, 0-2. The San Diego Padres are kicking up their heels a little bit. They've got 2 men on. They have runners at first and third with 2 out. And Gary Jestad is again at the plate. If he had gotten a base hit earlier, they'd have had an extra run, and now he's up with 2 on. 0-2 the count of Dusty Baker. Padres have the tying run at third, 2 down in the third inning. Dodgers leading 2-0 in the fourth. Downing comes to the plate inside at the kneecaps, 1-2. Boy, it's going to be a big Sunday. The Dodgers battling the Braves. Downing comes back, and it's swung on and missed. Strike 3. Palm ball got him. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. Into 3.5 innings. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing.
More Hughes Air West, and your pilot will help you enjoy the scenery. Listen to Captain Bill Bauman.
At Hughes Air West, our route structure serving Canada, United States, and Mexico, we have more scenery per mile than any other carrier in the world. And it's not a duty with me to enlighten the people as to what they're looking at. To me, it's a pleasure. I enjoy it just as much as they do. I've flown the routes hundreds of times. And I don't know, maybe my enthusiasm rubs off a little bit. But when you pick the people up at their point of origin, they're receptive. And I think it would be a disservice not to join in with them and make their trip just as pleasant as we conceivably can.
You'll see a lot more, enjoy a lot more, when you fly Hughes Air West.
Only Hughes Air West has jet service to 3 Bay Area airports, San Jose, Oakland, and San Francisco International. Next time to the Bay Area, jet Hughes Air West.
Bottom of the fourth inning, the Dodgers leading the Braves 2-0. the Giants got out of that trouble. They got Gary Jestad to ground to third, and the Padres left 2 men in the third inning. If you wonder how the Giants scored, Bobby Bonds doubled. Kingman bunted for a base hit. Dietz fouled out to the first baseman, and Spire struck out. It looked like Dave Roberts was going to get out of it. And then Hal Lanier hit a ground ball that got by Don Mason into center, and 2 runs came over. After Bonds had doubled and Kingman bunted for a base hit, the Giants pulled the double steal successfully, and then Lanier got the single for the 2. So it's 2-1 Giants. They're now in the bottom of the third at Candlestick. 2-0 Dodgers, bottom of the fourth, and Jim Lefebvre at the plate. Niekro into the windup. Phil delivers, and the knuckler low, ball 1. Lefebvre got a fastball and singled to right field in the second inning. 1-0 the count of Jimmy. Tommy Haller on deck. Niekro to the windup and sails it inside and low. Ball 2, 2-0. Niekro has walked 1. The Dodger runs. Crawford walked. Lefebvre singled him to third, and with 1 out and 2 strikes on Bobby Valentine, Bobby hit a fly ball deep enough to get Crawford home. And then in the third, Willie Davis homered. So it's 2-0 Dodgers in the fourth. The 2-0 pitch on the way. Fastball fouled away. Jimmy wasn't quite set for it, and the count 2-1. Earl Williams walks out to the mound to talk to Niekro, so timeout. Don't forget, this is the first of 2. And some aces locking horns today. Al Downing and Phil Niekro. And in the nightcap, Don Sutton and Ron Reed. Dodgers trying to beat Niekro for the first time this year. He's beaten them 3 times without a defeat. Lefebvre waiting. Niekro ready. And the 2-1 pitch. Fastball away. Ball 3. 3-1. So Jimmy trying to get aboard. We were saying earlier the key to Niekro is to see how many times he falls behind batters and how many he walks. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Fastball hit into right field. Base hit. So you see, Niekro fell behind, relied on the fastball, and Lefebvre whacked it again. And it's a completely different pitcher, is Niekro, if he is behind all the time. The Cardinals bombed Montreal 11-0. Steve Carlton won his 19th. Ernie McAnally lost it. So Carlton is 19-9. In the bottom of the third inning at Candlestick, John Jeter lost Willie Mays' fly ball in the sun. There's a line drive base hit over the head of Millan. Lefebvre is on his way to third. The ball booted momentarily by Lum, but no error. And the Dodgers are first and third and nobody out. Dodgers have a half a dozen hits against Niekro, and the bullpen gets busy for Atlanta as Bobby Valentine gets up. Up at Candlestick, Jeter, the center fielder, losing Mays' fly ball in the sun, dropped it for a 2-base error. So Willie's at second base. Ron Herbel throwing in the Atlanta bullpen. Valentine had that clutch fly ball, and the Dodgers would love to see him come up with another one. Niekro delivers, and the knuckler is low. Ball 1. Dodgers leading 2-0, and they have first and third and nobody out. The Dodgers are in a frustrating stage, though. No matter how many they win, it doesn't make any difference, unless the Giants lose. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Valentine. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 1-1. Williams walking the ball out to Niekro. 1-1 to Bobby Valentine. Lefebvre at third and Haller at first. At Candlestick, Willie McCovey is at bat. Mays is now at third base with 1 out. And the Giants are leading 2-1. 1-1 to Valentine. Niekro turns, throws to first. Haller diving back to the bag. Necro set, 1-1 pitch. Knuckleball high. Ball 2. 2-1. Dodgers 2, Braves nothing in the 4th. Haller at first, Lefevre at third, nobody out. 2-1 to Bobby Valentine. The pitch to Bobby, knuckleball hit slowly wide to third. Up with it is Perez to second for 1 to first, not in time, and the run scores. So a 6-4 fourth play. Valentine picks up his second run batted in, and the Dodgers lead 3-0 with Al Downing coming up. Willie McCovey hit a scoring fly ball at Candlestick as Downing bunts. Necro throws him out to the beyond covering, and that moves Valentine to second base. So the Giants have scored another, and they are now leading San Diego 3-1. And the batter, Maury Wills. Maury Wills hit back to the box, a knuckleball. In the second inning on a 3-2 pitch, he got a fastball and flied to center. Necro looks at Valentine. Now Phil delivers. Knuckler hit down the left field line, and it's going to be a base hit. Here comes Valentine. Gar's throw to the plate. He scores. The Dodgers are now leading Necro and the Braves 4-0 as Will singles and picks up an RBI. For Maury, his 41st, and Bill Buckner the batter. The Giants settle for a run. A two-base error by Johnny Jeter eventually cashed in on a fly ball by Willie McCovey. And at the end of 3 at Candlestick, Giants 3, Padres 1. Here it's Dodgers 4, Braves nothing. And with 2 out, Bill Buckner hit back to the box and fouled out. And he popped one foul to the right of the plate. Big Williams will not have a play. It's in the crowd. 0-1. Here in the inning, Lefevre, when Necro fell behind, hit a fastball into right field for a base hit. Haller pushed a knuckleball into center, put runners at first and third. Lefevre scored as Valentine hit into a force play. Downing sacrificed Valentine to second, and Will singled him home with a shot to left. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. Necro at the belt, and the pitch to Buckner, taken low. 1-1. The Dodgers, no way they're going to count this as a big lead. They blew a 2-0 game as late as the 8th inning. They led 5-2 yesterday and saw that get away. So they can't possibly take this lead for granted. Necro straightens up, throws to first, and throws it off Aaron's glove. Wills gets up. He's to second base as Aaron picks up the ball. He turns, and he wants to make Henry throw, and he does to Perez. And Wills holds at second. The error charge to Necro. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
The good son. KTAR Phoenix.
All right, Bill Buckner is now trying to pick up Maury Wills. Dodgers leading 4-0 with 2 out in the 4th inning. Necro at the belt. And the pitch to Billy Buck is outside. Ball 2. 2-1. Buckner, the 6th man to come to the plate. Necro, hands on his knees, reading Earl Williams signs. Now Phil brushes and straightens up. 2-1 pitch to Buckner. The knuckleball lifted to center field and deep. Back goes Lum. Away back. It's over his head against the fence. Wills will score on a 400-foot double for Buckner. Buckner hit a knuckleball over Mike Lum's head, and it short hopped the center field fence 400 feet away. And the Dodgers now lead 5-0. And Earl Williams is going over to the dugout to get a different catcher's mitt, and that means that Necro's gone. So Ron Herbel will be coming in, and Williams doesn't need the waffle mitt. The Dodgers today bombing Necro. To give you an idea of how hard they have hit him, in 27 previous innings, the Dodgers could score 3 runs against Necro. And they've scored 5 in 3 2/3 innings today. So the Dodgers are leading 5-0, but just as important, in fact, more important, the Giants are leading the Padres 3-1. It's the last Giant game at home, remember. They go out on the road and play all 9 on the road. The Giants' schedule left, 3 at Houston. They have not done well there at all. 3 in Cincinnati, and then they finish up with 3 in San Diego. After today, the Dodgers will go to Cincinnati for 2, Atlanta for 3, and they come home and finish up with Houston. So this thing is wide open. That'll be all for Necro. He gives up at least 5 runs. Buckner at second belongs to him. 8 hits. He walked 1, struck out 1, and he's relieved by Ron Herbel. Let's find out about a few other things. And here's Jerry.
All right, Vinny, remember, fans, order tickets by mail. The National League Championship playoff game scheduled for Dodger Stadium the afternoons of 2nd and 3rd. If the Dodgers beat out the Giants, all mail orders must be postmarked no later than midnight tomorrow. So why not beat the rush? Order your tickets now. Send orders to Championship Series, care of the Dodgers, Los Angeles 90080. Tickets being sold in 2 game strips, both box seats for both games $14, reserve seats for both games $10. Add $1 to your certified check or money order for mailing and handling. Send orders to the Championship Series, Dodgers, Los Angeles 90080. New York beat Pittsburgh 5-2. The Cardinals stayed alive, but just barely, as they blanked Montreal 11-0, and Carlton got his 19th win. Chicago beat Philadelphia 6-3, and it is 4-4 Houston-Cincinnati in the 8th inning, and 3-1 San Francisco to San Diego in the 4th. All right, more play here, Spence.
Willie Davis is playing great ball, has a double and a home run. He has hit in 14 straight, 20 of his last 21, and he's been blazing hot. Herbel looks at Buckner, and the fastball a strike to Willie, 0-1. Well, 5 runs off Phil Necro. Boy, that's a lot of runs to see come over against the knuckleball ace. Just one of his days, bad ones. 0-1 to Willie Davis. Herbel at the belt. Ron, another backward glance. Fastball, hammered to left center. Base hit. Here comes Buckner to score. 6-0 Dodgers. Boy, Willie Davis is tearing it apart. That hit is charged to Herbel. The run is charged to Necro. You can close the door now. Necro went 3 2/3 innings and gave up 6 runs and 8 hits. Willie Davis has a single, double, and home run as he stands at first. Here's Richie Allen, grounded to short and lined out to left. Herbel at the belt and delivers, and Richie takes high, ball 1. Allen with 22 home runs has more than any Dodger since Jimmy Lefebvre hit 24 in 1966. In fact, the only other Dodger to hit more home runs than Richie since 62, it's the first year of the ballpark, Frank Howard. Howard hit 31 in 1962, 28 in 1963, 24 in 1964. Allen whacks it down the left field line. Base hit. Gar up with the ball. Willie, a big turn. He throws back of him, and he goes to third. Davis pulled a high school play on Ralph Gar. He rounded second. Gar was pretty deep in left field, and Willie dared Gar to throw back of him. It was a foolish dare to accept, and when Gar threw to second, why, it was child's play for Willie to go to third. And now here's Willie Crawford. He takes a strike. So the Dodgers 6 runs, 10 hits. And Willie Crawford is the ninth man to come to the plate. They've scored 4. Davis at third, Allen at first. Herbal at the belt. Strike 1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. Dodgers have a half a dozen hits to go with the 4 runs in this inning. They have 10 hits and 6 runs in the game. Herbal ready and the strike 2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Good curve that apparently is swung on and missed. The ball rolls away from Williams and Crawford standing at the plate. But now Steiner holds up his right hand, so it was strike 3. Okay, now the fellow's going to leave the field. Even Williams doesn't know. He throws to first. He can't believe whether it was strike 3 or not. But that's what it was. So Crawford strikes out to end the inning. The Dodgers 4 runs on a half a dozen hits. There was an error by Nico. And at the end of 4, Dodgers 6, Braves nothing.
To be good at anything, really good, you usually find it takes 2 things, training and spirit. And there's a fellow in your neighborhood who has the best of both. Your Union 76 certified serviceman. He's a real pro with real professional training, too, because for each certified service stripe he wears on his arm, he's had special training at Union Certified Service.
4 innings in, and the Dodgers are leading 6-0. 6 runs, 10 hits. The Braves, no runs, 2 hits. Padres in the 4th inning had 2 on with 1 out, and Don Mason, the second baseman, lined into a double play. So every time the Padres get something going, they can't quite cash it in, and it remains 3-1 Giants. Don Carruthers, pitching for the Giants, has been in constant trouble, but he's been able to get out of the hook each time. All right, here's Mike Lum, followed by Darrell Evans and then Marty Perez. 6-0 Dodgers, 5th inning. Lum, left-hand hitting center fielder, and Downing looks into Haller. Al into the windup, and Downing delivers breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. To Mike Lum. Downing back to the plate, 0-1, and it's swung on and missed. Up around the shoulders and inside, 0-2. Lum plied to center in the 2nd inning. Downing checking. Al ready, and the strike 2 pitch on the way. High bouncer down towards second. Valentine gloves it at the bill of the cap and throws him out. 1 away. Say, you know, Pacific Telephone reminds you that on the inside of the front cover of your phone book, there are spaces for important numbers like fire, police, and doctor. When you have a moment, why not take a few seconds and fill them in? The crowd, you hear them reacting in the background. They are listening to the waning moments of the Rams game. Downing into the windup now, and the pitch to Darrell Evans is high, ball 1, 1-0. Boy, what a town is Los Angeles, huh? We've sure got things going on around here. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Breaking ball dips low, ball 2, 2-0. Our sister city up north not doing too badly either. Giants and the 49ers. So the Dodgers and the Giants are coming down to the wire. And the footballers have just begun. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Darrell Evans. Outside, ball 3. The big left-hand hitting third baseman. 3-0. Downing reading Haller. Evans waiting. 3-0 pitch to Darrell. Very high, ball 4. So trying to keep the ball up and in. He got it 2 up and 2 in. And so Evans walks on 4. And with 1 out, Marty Perez, the batter. Marty Perez grounded to short his only trip. He's 0 for 1. Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. We're in the 5th inning of the 1st game. Downing, hands on his knees, reading signs. Haller wigwagging a few signs out. Al ready, comes to the plate. Fast one swung on and missed. 0-1. No balls and one strike to Marty Perez. Posting the final score of the Ram game, and they lost a heartbreaker, 24-20. The pitch, a strike to Marty Perez. Boy, that's a shock and bad news for the town. The Rams figured they were opening up with almost a patsy. I think they were like 12-point favorites. And they go down 24-20. All right, Downing at the belt. Strike 2 pitch on the way. In the dirt, a nice save by Tommy Haller, 1-2. One and two to Marty Perez. Darrell Evans at first. 1 out, 5th inning. 6-0 Dodgers. Downing at the belt. And the 1-2 pitch coming up. Palm ball. Got him swinging, and down goes Marty.
Herbal. Pitcher.
Now, coming up, we'll have a pinch hitter. No, we won't either. That's Ron Herbal. So Ron Herbal at the plate. Right-hand batter. 2 down in the 5th. 6-0 Dodgers. Downing ready. Delivers to Ron. High and away. Ball 1. One ball and no strikes to Ron Herbal. Downing delivers, swung on and missed, 1-1. According to the sketchy details we get, the Rams were leading on the last play of the game, and New Orleans scored with the back fumbling the ball as he crossed the goal line. The Rams had evidently recovered, but the officials ruled that the man had scored before fumbling. So the Rams lose a heartbreaker, and they were favored by 12. 1-2 the count to Ron Herbal. Two out in the 5th. 6-0 Dodgers. Darrell Evans at first. Allen not holding. Downing reading Haller. Now straightens up, and the 1-2 pitch to Ron Herbal. Fastball blew him down, and that's that. 4 strikeouts for Al. No runs, no hits, a man left. Into 4.5. Dodgers 6, Braves nothing.
Schlitz, Milwaukee and the world. Chance of life. And you gotta live it with all the gusto you can. In everything. Even the beer you drink. Schlitz. Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Reminder of a great event coming to Dodger Stadium after the baseball season, the 19th Annual Trailer Coach Association Mobile Home and Recreational Vehicle Show. An amazing collection of more than 500 exhibits on display, spread over 275,000 square feet of space inside and outside the stadium. Those dates are November 3rd to 7th at Dodger Stadium, so we hope you make your plans to be here. All right, let's go back to play. Here's Vin.
Bottom of the 5th, 6-0 Dodgers. They're going to the top of the 5th at Candlestick. In the bottom of the 4th, Kingman had singled. Dietz flied to right, and Spire hit into a double play. The pitch to Lefebvre inside. So the Padres coming up in the 5th inning have Johnny Jeter, the center fielder, Nate Colbert, the first baseman, and Larry Stahl, the right fielder. Ron Herbal in relief for Phil Niekro sends a fastball in for a strike, 1-1 to Lefebvre. Jimmy playing third base today, and he's 2 for 2. 2 singles to right field, and both base hits on fastballs against Niekro. 1-1 pitch, foul back, 1-2. Tommy Haller on deck. Dodgers scored a run in the second, a run in the third, and 4 in the fourth. Herbel into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch, high, ball 2, 2-2. Earl Williams in a crouch behind the plate. Herbel into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch, high, ball 3. The Braves have only 2 hits in 5 innings against Al Downing. Mian opened up with a single, and in the 4th inning, a 2-out single by Earl Williams. Here's Herbel's 3-2 pitch, very high. So Lefebvre, bidding for a perfect first game, has 2 singles on the walk, and the batter will be Tom Haller. First 2 men up at Candlestick Park, John Jeter and Nate Colbert made out. So that brings up Larry Stahl in the 5th. 2 out, 3-1 San Francisco. It's their last home game of the year. Herbel over to first base. Lefebvre back to the bag. Left-hander begins to throw in the Braves bullpen as Herbel works Haller. A big bounce at Aaron. He steps on first, throws to Perez, who tags the sliding Lefebvre for a double play. So a 3-6 double play. 2 down, and Bobby Valentine coming up. Valentine has a scoring fly ball in the 2nd inning and hit into a force play to pick up another RBI in the 4th. So Bobby has 2 RBIs. He's 0 for 1. He has 24 runs batted in this year. Herbel ready, delivers. Breaking ball high and away, ball 1. Dodgers head for Cincinnati tomorrow. They play in Cincinnati Tuesday and Wednesday nights. The Giants play in Houston Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights. There's a ground ball up the middle for Valentine. Base hit to center field. So Bobby is 1 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. And Al Downing coming up. He's 1 for 1. 11 hits for the Dodgers. Downing singled and sacrificed. Henry Aaron gives the sign to Herbel he's not going to hold Valentine on. He's directly back of him. And Downing waits at the plate. Al has 15 hits. He takes a strike. 0-1. Don't forget the second game. Ron Reed and Don Sutton. 0-1 to Al. Downing grounds one to the right side, and up with it there is Mian to get him. And the Dodgers get a walk and a base hit and leave a man, and that's all. At the end of 5, Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. Farmer John was telling me about a lady fan he knows who keeps win and loss columns on the meat she serves her family. If they rave about the meat, it's listed in the win column, and she serves it soon again. When there's no comment, the meat goes in the loss column. Farmer John wishes more people would do this because he figures his Farmer John ham would make the win column every time. After all, it was a gold medal winner at the California State Fair. One reason for its victorious ways is the pork Farmer John uses. It's strictly fresh eastern corn-fed pork, never frozen or cold storage pork like some people use. And another reason is its delectably different western flavor from the smoking that makes every savory, satisfying morsel a happy eating experience. You might keep a win-loss record of your own on the meats you serve your family. And to get it off to a delicious start, bake up a sweet, succulent Farmer John ham. You'll discover what we mean when we say it's the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor.
Thank you.
Hey, how would you like to win a trip for 2 to wonderful Copenhagen on SAS Scandinavian Airlines, or a trip for 2 to New York with a weekend of shows flying aboard a TWA 747? Or how about a round trip for 2 to San Juan, Puerto Rico aboard an American Airlines luxury liner? A round trip for a couple to Hawaii aboard a United Airlines 747 featuring Trader Vic meal service. These are 4 of the many prizes waiting for our fans at Dodger Fan Appreciation Night. Get your tickets now, September 30th, final game of the season. Dodgers leading 6-0 here against the Atlanta Braves in the first game of a big Sunday doubleheader. Let's go back to the action here at Guinness Bend.
All right, Jerry, the Padres went out. Larry Stahl, the right fielder, evidently missing a home run by a couple of feet with a long, loud foul, and then struck out. So at the end of 4.5 at Candlestick, it remains Giants 3, Padres 1 as we move into the 6th. Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. Felix Millan singled and flied to center. Right hand hitting second baseman chokes up on the bat. Lefebvre plays up inside the bag at third, and the pitch to Millan, a strike. Felix started the day at 292. Strike 1 pitch, fouled away, 0-2. You realize that so far today, at least, the Giants have been favored by fate. And we've talked, I guess, the last few days about that mysterious word called luck and how can you figure it. But it has popped up at Candlestick. Strike 2 pitch, inside ball 1. The first 2 Giant runs scored on a couple of hits, a double steal, and a 2-out ground ball that went off Don Mason's bare hand. And then their third run was a fly ball lost in the sun and dropped by John Jeter for an error. The 1-2 pitch to Millan, ground ball to Wills. Morey gloves it, fires, and gets him. 1 away. Ralph Garr coming up. He has grounded out once and then tried to bunt and hit a pop fly to Richie Allen.
Left field.
Garr 0 for 2, and he must be still embarrassed. He's a rather demonstrative guy. You know that Ralph is in the ballpark. If he is out at first base, he will leap in the air. His helmet's always flying around. And, of course, Willie Davis made him look bad. When Willie dared him to throw back of him, Ralph did, and Willie just moved over to third. He hits a little nubber to the left of the plate, foul, and the count 0-1. That big sweeping swing of his, 0-1. 6 runs on 11 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 2 hits, and an error for the Braves in the 6th. The Giants are at bat in the bottom of the 5th. The Giants are leading 3-1. Downing to the windup. The strike 1 pitch on the way. Good breaking ball swung on and missed. Strike 2. Garr is quite a hitter. He came in here at .338. He had 6 hits in the first 2 games of the series, and he's 0 for 2 today. Downing reading signs, and now Garr backs out and time calls. Ralph Garr, G-A-R-R. He has to wait a while in the Braves system before making it, but he's making it big. He hits another foul off to the left of the plate, out of play. The Braves had a pretty discouraging outfield if you were a kid trying to make it, with Rico Carty, Felipe Alou, and Henry Aaron. But Alou is gone, Carty is sidelined, and they had room for Garr, hitting .338. Garr, who is every bit a dandy, Steiner wanted to look at the ball, and as Downing flipped it to Haller, Garr caught it and looked at it, then gave it to the umpire. 0-2. Strike 2 pitch on the way. High fastball bounced over the mound, back a second. Wills in a hurry on a guy like Garr, and it's too late. And Garr goes skidding on his chest as he crossed first base. So Ralph Garr got a base hit. Wills did not have a good grip on the ball. He had to re-grip, and that's the difference in getting and not getting Garr. So Garr hustling for a base hit. Pitcher Don Carruthers of the Giants has opened up with a double of center fielder Johnny Jeter's glove. There's 1 out, and Carruthers at second base. Leadoff man Willie Mays is the hitter. So an infield single for Garr. It's 3 hits off Downing. Henry hits a ground ball sharply to Lefebvre. He juggles, recovers in the air, and throws to Allen, who tags Aaron. The Dodgers blow a double play, 2 out. Gar at second base. And the batter is Earl Williams. See, here's a chance to help fight air pollution without paying a high price for it. Fill up with low-lead Regular 76, the anti-pollution gasoline at your Union 76 dealers now. Earl Williams hit into a fourth play and single to left. So the big catcher 1 for 2. 6-0 Dodgers. 2 out. Gar at second base. Giants have a runner at second, 1 out in the fifth, leading 3-1, and Mays at the plate. Mays just grounded out up there, and Williams pops it up. Let's see who'll call. It's the captain, Maury Wills, on the grass, back of the mound, makes the catch, and that's that. No runs, infield single, and a man left. At the end of 5.5 innings, Dodgers 6, Braves nothing.
According to the latest Department of Labor statistics, the total salary earned by the average man in 25.5 weeks is about what it costs to buy a new car. Unless, of course, he buys a Volkswagen, which changes that figure to, I don't seem to have that breakdown here. However, this is all based on the price of the average new car, which the Volkswagen certainly is not. Average, that is. It goes on to say that the average man works 8 2/5 weeks just to earn the price of a 1965 used car, unless he buys a Volkswagen, which changes the figures the other way. You see, Volkswagens don't depreciate much. Anyway, if you're an average man who buys a new Volkswagen, you can save, let's see, take 25.5 weeks, multiply that by, I guess you'd subtract, wouldn't you? Yeah, well, let's just say owning a Volkswagen means a lot less work, unless you're out of work, in which case you ought to hang on to that used Volkswagen, because who can tell the difference anyway? Thank you.
There are 6 authorized Volkswagen dealers in the Phoenix area. See the yellow pages for the one nearest you.
Dodger catcher Joe Ferguson, who is 25 years old today. Tito Fuentes just got a base hit to cash in Don Carruthers. So the Giants now are leading handily 4-1 in the 5th inning at Candlestick. As far as the station of Maury Wills, Bill Buckner, and Willie Davis in that order. The Dodgers 6 runs, 11 hits. Braves no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Ron Herbel getting ready. The Dodgers chasing Necro today. Single runs in the 2nd and 3rd, and then put the skids to fill with a 4-run 4th when 9 men came to the plate. Wills hit back to the box, fly to center, single to left. Wills at the plate. Here comes Herbel's pitch, and he gets a strike on 1. Tito Fuentes singled home Don Carruthers. Tito took second on the throw to the plate, and McCovey is being walked up at Candlestick. Pitch to Wills is low, 1-1. So the Giants are leading 4-1. Bottom of the 5th inning. The Dodgers are leading 6-0. Bottom of the 6th inning in the first of 2. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. The Giants play one day when the Dodgers do not on the upcoming road trip. That's Thursday. 2-1 pitch outside. Giants play Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in Houston. The Giants then go to Cincinnati. The Dodgers are in Cincinnati and play Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they're off on Thursday. Pitch to Wills, foul back to the screen. With 2 on and 2 out, Roberts disposed of the next Giant batter. That was Bobby Bonds. So the Giants settle for the run, and at the end of 5 at Candlestick, Giants 4, Padres 1. Wills grounds 1 foul right over to the ball boy sitting in front of the Dodger dugout. 3-2. Second game will feature Ron Reed and Don Sutton. 3-2 pitch coming up. Wills lines it to left field. Garr sprinting to the foul line, and the ball goes foul and drops untouched. If the ball had been fair, Garr would have caught it. So Wills comes back, 3-2, and the road runner, as they call him, has to go get the ball out there in left field. The timeout.
Your attention, please. Mr. Jerry Lemon. Please contact Dr. Robert. Mr. Jerry Lemon.
3-2 pitch coming up. Herbal delivers high. Ball 4. Wills is aboard. And the batter will be Bill Buckner.
Billy Buckner.
Talking before about this upcoming road trip for the Dodgers, they play 2 games in Cincinnati. Of the 7 they have played in Cincinnati, the Dodgers have won 4 of the 7. Then they play 3 in Atlanta, and they've had a terrible time in Georgia. The Dodgers have lost 5 of the 6 played in Atlanta. Then the Dodgers finish up at home with Houston, and they are 3-3 at home with Houston. So according to the numbers, the Dodgers do not have any kind of an edge. They are 8-11 against the 3 teams they are playing from now to the end of the season. Herbal ready. Buckner bunting to the right of the man. That's a good bunt. He's going to beat it out. So Bill Buckner bunts and gets it by Herbal, and that goes for a base hit. Wills at second, nobody out. And here's a house on fire, Willie Davis. He has a double, home run, and single in that order. Down in the bullpen, Tom House, left-hander, begins to throw for the Braves. Willie holds up on a pitch high. Ball 1. 6 runs, 12 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits for the Braves. Earl Williams going out to the mound to talk to Herbal. Richie Allen on deck. Davis at the plate. Wills at second. Buckner at first. Nobody out. Dodgers 6, Braves nothing. Giants leading the Padres 4-1 in the top of the 6th. Willie hits a ground ball, base hit to right field. Here comes Wills to score. Baker is after Buckner but doesn't get him, and Willie goes into second. The Dodgers are having a field day in this first game anyway. They have 7 runs, 13 hits. Willie Davis has 2 singles, a double, and a home run. Davis twice this year has had 5 hits in a game against Montreal and San Diego, and now he's 4 for 4 against Atlanta. First base open. Here's Richie Allen. Herbal out of a windup, and Richie takes slider outside, ball 1. So a walk, a bunt single, and a single by Davis for a run. 7 runs, 13 hits. A run, 5 hits off Herbal. 1-0 pitch to Richie. Fouled away. 1-1. Couple of scores. Baltimore finally got well. They bombed Detroit 8-1 back of Mike Cuellar, won his 19th. And Oakland beat Milwaukee 6-2 back of Segui. To Richie Allen. Buckner at third. Davis at second. Nobody out. Herbal to the windup. And the pitch to Richie. Low and away. Ball 2. Willie Crawford on deck. Dodgers have had at least one hit in every inning. They failed to score in the first inning and in the fifth. The next one is foul back. In the first inning, the Dodgers had a double by Willie Davis. In the fifth inning, they had a walk and a single, but a double play turned them away. So they have really been hitting hard. 7 runs, 13 hits in 5 innings plus. There's nobody out here in the sixth. Now the pitch to Allen. Checked his swing on a breaking ball away. Ball 3. In the sixth inning at Candlestick, the Padres have a runner at second base, 2 out, and pitcher Dave Roberts, who's a fair to middling hitter at the plate. 3-2 pitch. Foul back. Willie Crawford on deck. Allen grounded to short, lined out to left, single to left. Now they're going to walk him intentionally. So after going 3-2, they throw the next one wide for ball 4. Allen can't believe it. As if to say, why in the world do you have me up here all the way 3-2 and then put me on? And he slowly goes to first base. So the bases are loaded, nobody out. Willie Crawford, the batter, and don't forget to look for the special split, 16-ounce bottle display most everywhere. Interesting point in scoring. Even though they pitched to Richie Allen and made 5 pitches to go 3-2, that last one is ball 4, and that makes it an intentional walk. The pitch to Crawford is high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes to Willie. Walk, grounded out to Aaron, struck out, 0 for 2. 1-0 pitch on the way. It's hit to left field. Gar coming up, and it's going to bounce for a hit. Buckner will score. The throw to the plate, not in time. Davis to third, Allen to second, Crawford at first. 8-0 Dodgers. 14 hits, and Harry Dorish heading for the mound. Gar, and it was impossible for him to react that quickly, but had he been able to size up the situation on that fly ball, he might have been able to force Willie Davis at third. Instead, he went after Buckner at the plate and couldn't get him. The base runners had to hold up on a looping fly ball that landed in front of Gar. Well, that'll be all for Ron Herbel. Tom House has been throwing down in the Atlanta bullpen. And House will find a full house. Dodgers with the bases loaded, 2 runs over, leading 8-0. And they'll get a left-hander now, so Jimmy Lefebvre will turn around and go from the other side. Tom House was 7-2 at Richmond. Getting accustomed to the mound. House has worked 6 innings in the big league. He's 5'11", 185-pounder. Born in Seattle, lives in La Puente. He's 24. The Thomas R. House, the pride of La Puente, coming in with the bases loaded, nobody out, and the Dodgers breezing 8-0. Of course, what you immediately think about, the Dodgers having a ball in the first game and how they would dearly love to be able to set some of these runs and hits aside for the second game, but no chance. Tommy House is another Rod Dado youngster who attended the University of Southern California. House getting ready, and Lefebvre standing aside waiting for him. In the bottom of the 6th inning at Candlestick Park, the Giants are leading the Padres 4-1. Here's the announcement on Tom House.
Number 39, Tom House.
was a Frank House, you might remember, who was a catcher in the American League. Now we have a Tom House, left-hander, pitching for Atlanta. Davis, Allen, Crawford out there, and Lefevre takes in at the right kneecap, ball one. So another ex-Trojan has made it up to the big leagues, left-hander Tom House. He's pitching from a stretch with the bases loaded. Nobody out, 1 ball and no strikes to Lefevre. House at the belt and the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball for a strike, in at the knees, 1-1. Don Sutton, who pitched so well last time out and lost 2-1, is no doubt stretched out on a training table in the Dodger dressing room, dozing and half listening to this ball game and dreaming how he'd like to have 8 runs. Lefevre fouls it away, and the count 1-2. Left foot on the rubber, looks into Earl Williams. Davis, Allen, and Crawford take their leads. Fastball is nubbed foul back of the plate. House, even though he's a left-hander, is dropping his arm and almost side-arming by way of first base. I guess that's how he gets his sinker working. A little unusual to see him do it with a right-hand batter at the plate. 1-2. Dodgers scored 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 4 in the fourth. They have 2 over so far now. Lefevre hits it foul. Another sinker, and it's still 1-2. Jimmy Lefevre has 2 singles and a walk. His 2 hits came against Necro. 1-2 pitch, overhand, and he turned it over away and high, ball 2. So House coming up with an overhand change and turned it over somewhat like a screwball. 2-2 the count. It's the only time he's come directly over the top so far against Lefevre. House at the belt. And a curveball is just inside. Lefevre started to swing and held up. Full house, and he's gone as far as he can go. 3-2, bases loaded, nobody out. Lefevre at the plate. Tom House out of a stretch. 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 in the dirt. Everybody moves up 90, and the Dodgers lead 9-0. The run is charged to Herbel. The walk is charged to House. 9 runs on 14 hits for the Dodgers. The Braves, no runs, 3 hits. Haller has struck out, singled, hit into a double play. House delivers. Curve is low. Ball 1. So a young left-hander, Tom House. In 6 innings, he had not walked a batter and had struck out 8. But he walks his first man here, and of course, it's another story for a fellow from La Fuente to be pitching first time against the Dodgers. 1-0 pitch. Haller takes a strike. I'm sure that Tommy, who's 24, spent many a day or night here at the ballpark watching the Dodgers play, and now he's pitching before a big crowd. It probably took him a while to get squared away while pitching to Lefevre. The Giants went out in the 6th inning, so at the end of 6, Giants 4, Padres 1. Pitch to Haller is a ground ball into right field. In comes Allen. In comes Crawford. It is 11-0 Dodgers. So 5 runs are charged to Ron Herbel. And the batter is Bobby Valentine. Dodgers have 15 hits today, the most hits they had in one game this year, 18 against San Diego. most runs in a game, 14 against the Giants. Valentine takes ball one, so Tom House has not been able to get anybody yet. He is now on his own. Lefevre and Haller belong to House. But the Dodgers have made this one a shambles, and there's still a second game to go. 1-0 the count to Bobby Valentine. You wonder whether the Dodgers will give some veterans a rest or not. Valentine slices a fly ball to Dusty Baker. The runners will hold as Baker gets it in. That's the first out of the inning. 8 men came to the plate before an out was recorded. And now here's Al Downing. Dodgers had 9 men come to the plate in the 4th. Downing is the 9th man to come to the plate in the 6th. 11-0 Dodgers in the 6th. Downing single, sacrificed and grounded out. 1 for 2. House at the belt and delivers. Downing swings, fouls it away, and the count 0-1. Dodgers 11, Braves nothing. Bottom of the 6th inning. Downing has allowed 3 hits, no runs. The Braves have gotten 1 man as far as second base. So it's really been a one-sided game. But there's another to come. Ron Reed and Don Sutton. Tom House at the belt and the strike 1 pitch. Ground ball hit down to Millan. He feeds Perez. He doubles up Downing with Aaron. 4-6-3 double play. So House finally gets out of it after giving up a walk and a base hit. The Dodgers score 5 runs on 4 hits. 1 left. The end of 6. Dodgers 11, Braves nothing.
To be good at anything, really good, you usually find it takes 2 things, training and spirit. And there's a fellow in your neighborhood who has the best of both. Your Union 76 certified serviceman. He's a real pro with real professional training. Because for each certified service stripe he wears on his arm, he's had special training at Union Certified Service Training School. Up to 6 weeks of concentrated specialized study for each stripe he wears. And that means when you take your car to him, he's going to fix it right. Look for the stripes he wears. Brakes, wheel alignment, tune-ups, air conditioning. If he's wearing the stripe, you know he's a pro. And he has great spirit, too. He's proud of the job he can do, and you can trust him to do it right. Because that's what Union Certified Service is all about. So next time your car needs servicing, take it to your Union 76 Certified Serviceman. You'll like his spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
Dodgers leading 11-0, and it gives Walter Olson a chance to take a couple of veterans out and sit them down so they can have, over an hour to rest before the second game. Bill Russell takes over at shortstop for Maury Wills. Wes Parker finishes up for Richie Allen at first base. Everybody else stays the same, which means Haller is still behind the plate. With Ron Reed going in the second game, almost all of the fellas out on the field figure to start that second game. And at least Wills and Allen now can get a little rest. Apparently, Haller is not in the manager's plans to catch the second game anyway. Now let's go to the 7th. 11-0 Dodgers. For more play, here's Jerry.
All right, Vinny, and it'll be Baker, Lum, and Evans now against Al Downing, shooting for his 19th win. Dodgers now will just have to hope that the Padres can turn it around in San Francisco. Of course, the Dodgers have a lot of work to do today. They still have to play another game against the Braves. There's a swing and a miss at a good fastball, strike 1. 0-1 the count. Houston on a home run by Joe Morgan in the 11th inning beat Cincinnati 5-4 in the Dome. Gliding the winner, Carroll the loser. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way to Baker. Fastball, strike 2 in the knees, and it is 0-2. 7th inning. To the count. Baker waiting. Downing delivers. Curveball, a half swing, and he held up. Ruled in time. A ball and 2 strikes. The Dodgers appealed the call, but overruled. All right, Downing checking again. Al set. Now the pitch on the way. A little low with the change. Ball 2, 2-2. Dodgers have 15 hits. Willie Davis has 4 of them. 2 singles, a double, and a home run. 2-2 pitch on the way. High bouncer wide of third base. Lefevre, one-hand stop. Turns, throws, in time to Parker. The Dodgers have made those 2 changes, and Baker then grounds out to Lefevre. Russell is at shortstop, and Parker playing first. Mike Lum, the batter, has flied out and grounded out. The Braves, after today, will have 7 games left. The Dodgers will have 8 games left, and the Giants will have 9. The Dodgers could almost push the Braves out of sight if they would win a doubleheader from them. Here's the pitch on the way. Curveball bounced back to Downing, a leaping play. Throws him out. A good play as Downing went high in the air and caught that in the web of the glove. So Lum is out, 2 down, and the batter will be Evans. Al Downing making a good play on that one. Darrell Evans at bat has walked and flied to center field. Remember that Farmer John plays 2 positions in your market. Look for Farmer John products in both the meat department and the delicatessen section. Fastball is in for a strike, 0-1. 0-1 the count. Evans waiting, big left-hand batter facing Downing. Darrell takes it low for a ball, and the count is 1-1. One count and the pitch on the way. Tapped right back to the mound on a check swing. Evans is thrown out by Downing, and Al has an easy inning, 1-2-3. Side out in order in the top of the 7th inning, and the score, the Dodgers 11 and the Braves nothing.
Schlitz, Milwaukee in the world. Life's a one-time thing. Nobody gets a second chance. So you'll live it with all the gusto you can. Right down to the beer you drink. Why settle for less? When you're out of Schlitz, you're out of beer.
Number 19, Tommy.
For Atlanta now, a change made defensively. Tommy Aaron replaces brother Hank at first base. And the Dodgers come on with Bill Russell, Billy Buckner, and Willie Davis now. The Padres have 2 men on in San Francisco in the 7th inning, and I think there's going to be a pitching change for the Giants.
Now catching for the Braves, number 4.
The Braves have a new catcher also, Bob Didier, who will bat in the 4th spot. So Aaron and Williams come out. Here's the pitch for ball 1 to Russell. Didier doing the catching. Aaron batting 3rd. 1 ball, no strikes. House into the windup, and his pitch to Russell. A ground ball hit wide of first base. Aaron there up with it, and he'll run to the bag, and Russell beats him. House forgot to cover. So Bill Russell gets an infield hit as he hit one wide of first to Tommy Aaron, and House forgot to cover the bag, and the Dodgers have their 16th hit. Yesterday, the Braves had 17 hits, which tied a high against the Dodgers all year. The Dodgers now with 16 hits are 2 away from their season high of 18 in the game against San Diego. Here's Buckner at bat now. Throw to first. And Russell just does get back. All right, Buckner waiting. Now the pitch on the way. Half swing, and he hit the ball right in front of the plate. Didi up with it and goes first base for the out. And on the play, not a sacrifice, Russell takes second. So Buckner checked his swing and tapped it right in front of the plate. He's thrown out, and Russell takes second base. Willie Davis at bat, and Willie is 4 for 4 in the ball game. And Willie's not going to bat. Tom Pashorik is going to bat for him. So Pashorik comes in, and Willie Davis will take the rest of this game off. So Willie, with 4 hits today, has 191. He will leave, and Wes Parker will be up next. Tom Pashorik getting a chance to bat. Pashorik has had 1 at bat. So he's up now with a runner at second base here in the 7th. The Dodgers getting a chance to rest some of the regulars here in the late innings of the first game, leading 11-0. Curve is inside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count to Pashorik. In the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch on the way. High for a ball, and it's 2-0. In San Francisco, the Padres have runners at second and third. Gaston pinch hitting against a new pitcher, Steve Hamilton. He represents the tying run in the 7th inning. 2-0 count. Pashorik takes a curve for a strike, and it's 2-1 to Tom. He had a good year at Spokane. He was one of 3 Dodger players recalled. Pashorik, Say, and Strahler. 2-1 count. There's a swing and a fly ball looped in the left center field. This ball is going to fall in for a base hit. Here comes Russell to score on a single to left field by Pashorik. And the Dodgers lead 12-0. So we get another run here, and that's 17 hits for the Dodgers. So they've matched the Braves total of yesterday, bouncing right back. The Dodgers lost yesterday 9-6, and they also lost the first game of the series 3-2 in the 11th inning. Here's Parker at bat with 1 out and 1 on. All right, Parker waiting. Pashorik away from first base. Off speed is in for a strike, 0-1. 0-1 the count to Parker, 1 out. Crawford on deck. Clarence Gaston is called out on strikes. And Gaston is out with 2 men on in the 7th inning. Strike 2 to Parker as he fouled one away. So the Padres are out in the 7th inning, and it is 4-1 in favor of San Francisco at the end of 6.5. Throw to first base, not in time. Well, the Padres won 1 game of the series, and being realistic, that's about what you can figure that they should win percentage-wise, because they're on the bottom and the Giants are on top, and even for them to win 1 is helping the cause. Now the pitch. Ground ball wide of third, the hole at short. Perez backhand throws to second base. Good play down to first, not in time. He took a base hit away because of the runner, Pashorik. So Parker grounds into a 4th out as Perez went in the hole and came up with the ball and fired back to Millan for the 4th play. Willie Crawford at bat now has 1 hit. Every Dodger in the starting lineup had a base hit. Let's pause now for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
The Good Son. KTAR Phoenix.
Here's the pitch to Crawford, in for a strike, 0-1. On 1 count, Crawford waiting. A run in here. Crawford at the high fly ball to deep center field. Lum going for it. Still going. He's at the track, makes a one-hand catch with a step left. So Crawford out on a long drive to center field to Lum, and the side is retired. 1 run on 2 hits, and the Dodgers leave a man, and the score at the end of 7 innings of play, the Dodgers 12 and the Braves nothing.
Since the Dodgers were born and raised in Brooklyn, but believe me, we soon become as Western as families who've lived here for generations. We're mighty proud. We have mountains, lakes, an ocean, and mild weather that is the envy of our friends back east. And we also have some little extras that all add up to our wonderful Western way of life. Now, I'd like to include in the list Farmer John's fabulous bacon. Oh, sure, you can get bacon elsewhere that's mighty good. In fact, Farmer John gets the pork for his bacon in the famous Eastern Corn Belt. But only here can you enjoy bacon with the genuine flavor of the West. Farmer John bacon starts off the day for more Western families than any other. And it's not a frequent visitor at your breakfast table. Why, you're just not enjoying life true Western style. Farmer John bacon won the gold medal at the California State Fair. And as we often say, it's the easternmost in quality and the westernmost in flavor.
Willie Crawford, moving to center field, left field.
Friends, here's Danny Goodman's September Stretch Drive special souvenir bargain package. All 5 items for $2. Send to Danny Goodman, Dodgers, Los Angeles, 90012. Offer available by mail only. A Dodger scarf, a Dodger yearbook, a package of 20 Dodger pictures, 12 National League Club pennants, and a 10th anniversary Dodger Stadium plaque, all for $2 to Danny Goodman. Okay, let's go to the 8th. Here's Vinny.
All right, Jerry. Tommy Pashorek, who batted for Willie Davis, stays in the game in left field. Willie Crawford moves over to center. And we go to the 8th, 12-0 Dodgers with Marty Perez to start it off. Downing into the windup and delivers, and Perez lifts a drive to left. Pashorek has to go back, and he's barely warmed up, and makes the catch on the track. So for somebody who came into the ballgame cold, he immediately had to make a difficult play. Pashorek turning his back on home plate, and he went to the warning track to haul it in. One away. The batter now will be Tommy House in a doubleheader. You know, Lumen Harris is not going to use any more pitches, not in a 12-0 debacle. So here's Tommy House. House hits as he pitches, left-handed all the way. Dodgers scored 6 runs and 8 hits against Niekro. Pitched to House a strike. 5 runs, 6 hits against Herbel. 1 run, 3 hits against House. Curveball is lifted to right field and deep, and Buckner has to go back. He's fighting the sun and backhands it, going to the wall. Excellent play by Bill Buckner. Say, friends, if you ever get a poor connection on a long-distance call, Pacific Telephone doesn't want you to have to pay for it. Call the operator right away and tell her, and she'll help you get a good connection. See, you're not charged for the first call. Boy, Buckner had to make a turn, go back, and when he turned back, he was looking right into the sun. And he backhanded the ball for the out. So 2 long outs. Downing, of course, leading 12-0. And he is just about pitching batting practice now. He's just trying to get that ball over the plate and let him hit it. And the odds are very much in his favor. Even though there have been 2 long outs. Millan has single, fly to left, grounded out. 1 for 3. He takes the strike. You only need 1 more than the other guy, but the Dodgers are leading 12-0, and the Giants are leading 4-1 up there. Millan fouls it away, 0-2. The Giants went out in order in the 7th inning, 1-2-3. So the end of 7 at Candlestick. It remains Giants 4, Padres 1. Millan back up to the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Downing to the windup. Strike 2 pitch. Breaking ball. Pop foul to the right of the plate. Haller has a play. Looks at Parker, and Tommy makes it anyway. So the Braves are gone in the 8th. The last 8 in a row have been retired at the end of 7.5 innings. The Dodgers 12, and the Braves nothing. Friends, here's a special Sunday reminder from Pacific Telephone. On Sundays between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m., you can now dial direct to any place in California and talk for 3 minutes for just 49 cents plus tax. That's for a 3-minute station-to-station call that you dial direct yourself without operator assistance. Just 49 cents plus tax. And that's the rate for calls anywhere in California. If you live in San Diego, you can dial direct on Sundays between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. to places as far away as Eureka and still pay only 49 cents for the first 3 minutes. Los Angeles to San Francisco, 49 cents. Santa Barbara to Crescent City, 49 cents. Riverside to Red Bluff, 49 cents. And in some cases over shorter distances within California, the rate is even less. This special 49-cent rate also applies every weeknight from 11 p.m. until 8 a.m. the next morning. So remember, you can save real money by choosing how and when you call. And no matter when you call, it's always faster and cheaper when you dial direct. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Dodgers 12 runs, 17 hits. The Braves no runs, 3 hits, and 1 error.
Now playing left field. For the Braves, number 45, Oscar Brown.
Oscar Brown will now finish up in left field for Ralph Garr. Steve Garvey will now bat for Jimmy Lefebvre.
For Lefebvre, number 6, Steve Garvey. Now playing second base, number 6.
Another change. Gil Garrido takes over for Millan. So the Braves are also trying to make the best of a bad situation, and the Dodgers are trying to give some veterans a rest for the second game. The pitch to Garvey, low, ball 1. Eighth inning, 12-0 Dodgers. House comes back to the plate. A change is high. Ball 2, 2-0. So the Dodgers are finishing up with Wills playing for Wills out for Russell, Davis out for Paciorek, Allen out for Parker, and Lefebvre out for Garvey. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Garvey. Swung on and missed. The bat goes all the way over into the Dodger dugout, and it almost hit Billy Buckner. Buckner had to get up off the bench and go running down the runway. That thing was coming right at him. Billy Grabarkowitz, as the bat went in there, gave the safe sign. Somebody else waved a towel at Garvey. But boy, Buckner, he didn't wait. Buckner took one look, and he was up the runway. So Garvey, who is tremendously strong, shakes up his own bench with that one, and the count 2-1. Dodgers drew blanks in the first and in the fifth. Otherwise, they've had things their own way all day. 12-0 Dodgers. Bottom of the 8th. They're in the top of the 8th at Candlestick. 4-1 4-1 in favor of San Francisco, and 2 out. There's a drive down the left field line, just foul. Foul ball, so Garvey comes back to try it again. So Dave Roberts, who outpitched Don Sutton here, 2-1, had some bad breaks. Apparently, we get everything second hand out of Candlestick. With 2 on and 2 out, a ground ball that went off Mason's hands, and there was some feeling that apparently Don might have played the ball. 2 runs scored. A third giant run came when Johnny Jeter dropped a fly ball, and that was eventually cashed in. And they just recently got their 4th run. So the Giants have been fortunate, and they're leading Roberts and the Padres 4-1. And the Padres have just gone out of order in the 8th inning. So the Padres are down to their last 3 outs. Garvey has a look at ball 4, and he'll go to first. That'll bring up Tom Haller.
Now, Haller, catcher.
Haller has reached the stage where there's no way for him to catch a doubleheader. So they figure, well, then let him go all the way alone in this first one. House looks at first, and he has Garvey picked off, and they tagged him out. So Garvey is picked off first base, after being walked. One away. House with a pretty good move. Left-hander just kicked and went over, and there was Steve with all the weight on his right leg. Slow curve fouled away by Haller. 0-1. House wants a new ball to work with, so timeout. Second game, Don Sutton and Ron Reed. Now the strike one pitch. Sidearm sinker foul back. 0-2. Dodgers scored 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 5 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh. That's a dozen. The Braves, meanwhile, have gotten 1 runner as far as second base, so they have not really been in the ball game since the fourth inning. 0-2. Giants leading 4-1, and they're at bat bottom of the 8th inning. Strike 2 pitch, curveball down and away, ball 1. 1-2. Bobby Valentine on deck. Haller swings and foul tips it and strikes out. 2 down in the 8th inning, and Bobby Valentine coming up.
Valentine, second base.
Valentine is 1 for 3, scored a run. He has 2 RBIs. Tom House delivers, fastball low, ball 1. A dozen runs for the Dodgers on 17 hits. 1 home run by Willie Davis, who had a tremendous day. The pitch to Valentine low. Willie had 2 singles, a double, and a home run. Then Fishora came up and hit for him, and he got a base hit. So that number 3 spot in the Dodger lineup went 5 for 5. Pitch on the inside corner for a strike, 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 out, 8th inning, 12-0 Dodgers. House delivers. Change and a big bouncer wide to third. Off the glove of Evans, deflected into left field. And coming up to get it is Oscar Brown. It'll be a base hit for Valentine, and that means the Dodgers have reached an offensive high today. They get 18 hits. They had 18 against San Diego, so they climbed up to it. And here is Al Downing. Getting a well-deserved ovation, and he promptly dunks one to left. Here comes Brown. It dropped. 19 hits, and that's a high for the Dodgers today. 19 of them, with Downing coming up with his second hit. Five hits off House, 6 hits off Herbel, 8 hits off Nico. A grand total of 19. And here's Russell. By the way, a high in the league. Cincinnati had 23 hits against Montreal in June. But 19, you're getting them into the rarefied air. Russell takes low and inside, ball 1, 1-0. Of course, for Walter Olson and the Dodgers, they can only hope that all this hitting sharpens them up for the second game. The whole new ball game with Ron Reed on the mound and Don Sutton doing the pitching. The next one, a strike, and the count 1-1. Last year, the Dodgers high 20 hits in one game. Russell takes high, ball 2. The Dodgers had 20 hits last year in a game against Cincinnati. And 20 would be the high water mark for a Los Angeles Dodger team. Russell, it's a ground ball to short. over to Garrido, and mercifully, the 8th inning comes to an end. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. So at the end of 8, Dodgers 12, Braves nothing.
Spirit. That's an ingredient you don't expect to find in a gasoline. But you get it, nevertheless, in every gallon of Super 76. Union Oil's premium blend gasoline. You get it in the form of 5 engine cleaners. 5, not just 2 or 3. 5, because that's how many Union Oil feels it takes to help keep your carburetor, anti-pollution valve, and engine clean. So your car will run smoothly and efficiently. So it will perform like it was meant to. And Super 76 helps you fight pollution, too, because a clean engine helps clean up the air. If you drive the kind of car that needs premium gasoline, then fill it up with Super 76, the premium with 5 engine cleaners. That's the spirit. The spirit of 76 lives at Union Oil.
We go to the 9th inning, 12-0 Dodgers. It seems rather ironic that yesterday the Dodger pitching staff hit a team low when they surrendered 17 hits to the Braves. So the Dodgers came back today and get a high, 19 hits against Atlanta. Oscar Brown, starting off, will be followed by Tommy Aaron and then Bob Didier. Ninth inning at Candlestick Park, with the Giants leading 4-1 over San Diego. Oscar Brown, right-hand batter, starting off. Downing into the windup, and the breaking ball is low. Ball 1. Fastball low, ball 2. The 2-0 pitch is a big chopper wide at third. Garvey spears it, throws him out, 1 away. At Candlestick Park, Rod Gaspar, a switch hitter, came up and batted for Dave Roberts and hit a ground ball that was backhanded by Tito Fuentes. Fuentes threw Gaspar out on a very close play. So 1 out, 9th inning at Candlestick, and the Giants are leading 4-1. The batter is Tommy Aaron. So Fuentes apparently taking a base hit away from Gaspar for the first out. Aaron jolts one to right center, but Buckner has the range on it. Sunglasses down, fighting the sun, and he made the catch. Boy, that was a tough play. Billy dropping to his left knee, despite the fact he's wearing sunglasses. 2 down in the 9th. Didier, the catcher, coming up. Downing finishing with a flourish. He has retired the last 10 in a row. So the Giants are 2 outs away from their last home game of the year, or should we say regular season, who knows. Didier takes low, ball 1. We certainly know it's their last scheduled home game. Then they'll go out and play 9. Didier, ground 4th inning. So it looks like the Giants will win up at Candlestick. And the Dodgers have won the first game, so the Dodgers will be trying to win the second game and pick up a half a game. Right now, we will have the totals, the winning and losing pitchers, right after this message.
Here are the totals on the ball game now. For the Dodgers in winning, 12 runs, 19 hits, and no errors. And for the Atlanta Braves, no runs, 3 hits, and no errors. Al Downing, the winning pitcher, now 19-8, and he has the best record of a left-hander in the league. As Steve Carlton has a 19-9 record. Steve won today also by a shutout. The loser is Nico. He's now 14-13, and so we get set for the second game, and we can give you this one. The Giants win it 4-1. So the Dodgers go to the second game of the doubleheader. They will be 2 games behind. If they win, they will be a game and a half back going on the road. If they lose, they will go out 2.5 back.